Okay, so starting in our supported fish. So our rolled up blanket goes under our shoulder blades, clearing the upper arm bones. And that means that the arms and even the tops of the shoulders can migrate toward the floor as our block supports our head comfortably. Legs take any shape. And you might start to notice if there's any feeling of tension in the front of your shoulders and chest. And see if you can soften that tension with a deep exhale. Filling breath to fill the lungs. And exhaling to soften, feeling heavy on your props. So right away today, we're breathing a little deeper than a normal breath throughout the rest of our day, potentially. And we're looking for feedback from our blanket. So as we breathe, we want to feel like we're breathing into our upper back, into where the blanket meets our body. Like we're trying to push the blanket away. As we exhale, we sink into the blanket. And the breath, of course, isn't just in the upper back, but flows into the belly, the lower ribs as well. Making sure your palms are facing the ceiling. We'll be here for a little while longer. Encouraging this passive release of all the tissue around the shoulders and chest. For the next few breaths in stillness, you might like to set an intention. Letting something spontaneously arise in your mind of how you'd like to feel, what you hope to leave this session with. Take a final deep breath in here. Really fill up. Feel the upper back press against your prop. Hold on full. Is there any more room to fill a little more? And then through your mouth, a sigh. Good. Just letting the breath be natural and making sure you have some space around you. We're going to stay on our props. Find our snow angels. So backs of the hands to your mat, reaching up, or probably to the floor around your mat, and then reaching down maybe towards your hips. Doesn't have to go all the way there. We're just sliding the hands next to us, like we're making snow angels on the floor. And see if you can do this in such a way that the backs of your fingers, the fingernails, stay rooted on the floor. At some point in your stretch, you might notice that your hands want to reach up, and just go up to the point where your hands can stay rooted. Take a couple deep breaths. Good, then pause your movement, and we'll keep the blanket where it is, but release your block or whatever's under your head and cradle your head with your hands and set all that down on the floor. So relaxing head and neck. And from here, we'll come into some actions a lot like crunches, but starting in this kind of bigger back bend. So feet to the earth if they're extended. Spread your toes. Take an inhale as you bend your elbows up toward the ceiling, and exhale to lift your head and chest, maybe elbows towards your knees. Inhale to slowly cradle head back down. And exhale, use your core to bring your elbows towards your knees. Good, so no effort in the neck or head here. All the effort in lifting is in your belly and your ribs. Good, for more of a challenge, just monitoring yourself, you can bring your knees together and lift your feet, hovering shins parallel to the earth. Good, especially if you've lifted your feet, really curl your tailbone toward the ceiling to flatten your sacrum down on the earth. Good, take 3 more at your pace. Next, exhale, lift up, grab your knees, and roll up to seated. Good, removing your blanket. You could unravel it as a cushion under your hips. And make sure you have your strap and your block both in reaching distance. Whenever you get there, let's just alternately roll the shoulders up, back, and down, adding a little twist to our movement, twisting to the right and the left. Let your jaw open and close, wide mouth. And come to center, big breath in, shoulders up. Pause on full, and through your mouth, release. Grab your strap. If you have a strap like mine, we're going to unravel it and fold it in half. Whatever width of what you're using, we want the hands a little wider than the shoulders. Just a touch, not too much for this particular action. Sit up tall and bring your prop in front of you. Bend your elbows and try and pull your hands apart. Good, action in the shoulders, chest is lifted, shoulders back. Good, keep pulling your hands apart and circle. So choose a direction, just make a big circle in space. Good, to create flow, Vinyasa, where we coordinate breath with movement. You might like to inhale as you reach to the side and up. Exhale, opposite side and down. Good, even as we add that coordination of breath, keep the hands pulling apart and the shoulders back and down. Not losing that attention to form. One more circle this way. And pause briefly, hands forward, and then change directions. Notice the warmth you may be starting to feel in your tissues and where. Last few times, maybe that strap reaches a little further back behind your head as you come up. And then release it to the side and reach your hands out next to you. Palms can be down. And imagine that someone was pulling on one of your wrists and pulling you to the side. Root down through your opposite sits bone and then switch sides, like someone's pulling your wrist. Good, we're gliding in the thoracic spine. Our vertebrae here need to be able to do this action, as well as folding forward and reaching back. Beautiful. Keep sliding left to right, and then start to alternately rotate palms up and down. So as I go to the left, my left palm faces up, and as I go to the right, my right palm faces up. So we're turning the arms in and out from the shoulders. See if you can really exaggerate that movement. One of my teachers calls this the Bollywood move. That might be inspirational for you. Good, let's add a little more here. Turn toward the hand that's facing up and then switch sides, adding a little head movement. Two more breaths. Good, even out your sides, come back to center, reach your arms up. A lot of shoulder work here, and exhale, let them go. Stretch out your legs, give them a shake. And then bring your feet wide. Good, you can move the flesh from the sits bones back and apart. And then flex and point your toes. Do that a few times. And pause with feet flexed, spine straight. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, turn toward a foot and fold toward it. Really strong legs here, feet are engaged. Press down through both legs to reach back up to center. Inhale. Exhale, turn toward the other foot and fold. Strong, strong legs. Press down through back of thighs to lift up. And keep pressing down as you descend. So we're twisting and folding. Take your time. Good, coordinating breath with movement. And if you're feeling like going a little deeper in this, then speed it up just slightly and deepen your breath. One more to each side. On an inhale, come back to center. And exhale, sweep your hands down. You can bring hands to inside of knees to help bend them back. And come to tabletop pose. Let's make sure that our strap and our block are toward the front of our mat, reaching distance. Take your time to get there. From hands and knees, first thing we'll do is point our fingers out toward the sides of our mat, the long edges. You can walk the hands a little bit wider than the shoulders if you'd like, and then rock your hips and shoulders side to side. Find a little wrist stretch here. The closer your wrists are together, the more intense of a stretch you'll feel. So adjust, widen them apart or narrow them as necessary. Good, coming back to center, both hands face forward and cat-cow. Inhale, drop your belly. Exhale, round your back, really exaggerate that curve. Continue and root down through your feet almost as much as your hands are pressing down. A little more time here, sort of Kundalini style. If you'd like, you can deepen the breath and go a little bit faster. Inhale deep, drop your belly, gaze up toward the ceiling, hold the breath, and exhale, down dog. Pedal out your legs, deeply bending a knee and switching sides. Good, pausing that movement to lift one leg really high and then lower it back down. And see if you can keep your hips square to the earth. So instead of opening a hip up toward a side, just straight leg back and up. Good, do that once more to each side. Good, then tiptoe to the front of your mat, slow motion. And find your standing forward folds. And once you're there, inhale, half lift. Nice length in the spine. And exhale, two folds. And let's do that a few times. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, folds. Once more, inhale. And exhale, spend a couple breaths in your favorite forward folds. You could shake your head or rock your torso side to side. Good, and for our last breath here, make it a sighing exhale. Squeeze the navel back to roll up to standing. Beautiful. Take a moment here feeling the stability of your feet. Feeling rooted, supported, grounded. And if you have a block, I recommend grabbing it. I like it on the highest setting. So we'll bring that top of our mat just in front of us. Good. Toes are going to be out, feet nice and wide as shoulders. And we'll move kind of in and out through dynamic squat. So first thing is just to reach your block. Make sure it's comfortably under maybe chest level, so the shoulders are supported with hands underneath of them. And again, the feet are wide for our squat. Spread your toes. Take an inhale like this as half lift. Exhale, bend your knees. Think knees out toward pinky toes. Lower down as much as you can. Good. Inhale for half lift. Straighten your legs. Exhale, bend your knees, squat. Beautiful. The block is there for support. You can place a little bit of your weight in it, make it a little easier. Or for more of a challenge, hands stay at the heart center the whole time. Good. Even as we half lift, back is straight. If hands are at heart center, this is really working the muscles in our back. Beautiful. Next time you come to your half lift, hands to your hips and flat back root to rise, stand up tall. And shake out your feet, shake out your hands, shake your head out a little bit, shake shoulders, ribs, hips, shake everything, shake, 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 shake. And then top of your mat, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, down dog. Good, first vinyasa here. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, lower down your way with control. Inhale, press through your back bend. And exhale, down dog. Ujjayi inhale. Ujjayi exhale. Lift your left leg up and back. Good, this time bend your knees, stack left hip over right. Good, like you're trying to tap a footprint on the wall over to your right. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, left foot between your hands, back knee down, low lunge. I recommend sliding a blanket underneath of your back knee for what we're gonna do next. Just helps for my comfort personally, so that might be you too. Good, root to rise, press through your feet and reach your arms up. Good, a few breaths simply here in our low lunge. Feeling any sensation in the front of the right thigh. If you're not feeling any sensation, you could walk that right knee a little bit further back behind you. One more big breath in. As you exhale, left hand to left thigh, just let it kind of sit there. Both feet press down. Good, big inhale, reach your right arm up and back, like you're gonna try and touch your right heel. You're not gonna get there with your hand, we'll just make a big circle. Inhale to reach your arm up, and exhale, back and down like you're trying to touch your right heel. Good, forward and up to inhale, back and down to exhale. Good, next few times, maybe as your right hand comes back, you lift your right heel and see if you can just tap your right hand, then set it down and keep going. Good, lifting right heel, maybe tap it with the fingers. One more time. Good, both hands down to frame your front foot. Slide your left knee to meet your right. And let's get off of that right knee by extending your right leg, toes to the mat to start. So from tabletop, right leg extended. Good. Lift your right heel off the earth. Nice straight right leg to start. Find that core support. Bottom two ribs float away from the mat. And we'll add a little movement here in our leg. Inhale to straighten it. Exhale to bend. Kick heel toward buttock. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Again, hips are square. Tendency is the right hip wants to pop up toward the ceiling. Try and keep it low. Inner thighs are working toward each other. Good, last thing here, next time your knee bends, we're gonna do footprints on the ceiling. So try and stamp a footprint, pulsing for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take an inhale, straighten your leg, and exhale, knees down. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. One more time. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. Good. Inhale, neutral spine. Walk your knees behind you a little bit. If you've got a blanket underneath them, slide it away. Take an inhale, send your chest forward in front of your fingers. And exhale, bend your elbows, hug them in, lower down. Good. From your belly, hands are next to your ribs. And for today, bend your knees, and again, float your ankles over your knees. Good, baby cobras, while also lifting the feet. So inhale, roll chest up and forward. Try and lift your thighs off the earth, and exhale to lower. Good, inhale, cobra. Try and lift feet toward the ceiling like you're stamping footprints. Exhale, lower. Do 3 more. Inner thighs are squeezing toward each other. Imagine you had a block between your thighs you were squeezing. Elbows are squeezing together. On your next exhale, release. And child's pose or down dog. Follow what your body needs. Whichever pose you're in, take at least 3 breaths. Good. Then an optional vinyasa if you'd like. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, press through. And exhale, press back. Good. From tabletop or down dog. Right leg up and back. Bend your knee, stack right hip over left. Good. Raise your left rib cage and shoulder as high as the right rib cage, right shoulder. Big breath in. Exhale, low lunge. Right foot forward, left knee down. Again, you can slide a blanket under your back knee and root to rise. Good. If shoulders are tired, you can always just keep your hands down at heart center for the first few breaths. If you'd like, arms reach up and over. Anjaneyasana, find that stretch in the left hip and thigh. Spreading the toes on the right foot, attention to pressing through right heel and back toes. On your next exhale, right hand rests on right thigh. Good, big sweeping motion as the left hand reaches back behind you towards your left heel, and then inhale to reach forward and up. Exhale, really reach back and down like you're trying to touch your foot. For the last few times, maybe when you reach back and down, you lift your foot off the earth enough to tap heel to fingers. If you can find that without looking. Good, one last time. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, hands frame your front foot. Right knee meets the left tabletop, and left leg extends back of your mat. Good, bottom 2 ribs away from the earth. Core strong, left leg lifts. Good, heel is just as high as your hip. Inhale to straighten your leg. Exhale, bend your left knee. Kick heel toward hip. Good. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Keep some attention on your core and pressing the earth away from you with your hands. Next time your left knee bends, stack your ankle over your knee and tap footprints on the ceiling. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop your knee to meet the other. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. One more time. Inhale, neutral spine. Exhale, down dog. Good, optional vinyasa. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, press through. Exhale, press back. Ujjayi inhales. Ujjayi exhales. We'll meet standing forward fold. Get there your way. And whenever you arrive, inhaling for half lift. Exhaling to fold. Inhale, flat back, root to rise. Use the upper back muscles to reach up and overhead. Exhale, hands to your heart. Feel your feet. and your breath. Good, and grab your strap. This time we probably want a little wider grasp of our strap than we did when we were seated. So we've all done this before, shoulder flossing. So hands are much wider than the shoulders to start. You can always adjust. If it feels very easy in our movement, you would walk the hands closer. If it feels very difficult, you'd walk them wider. Either way, we're going to do the same thing. Start low. Bend your elbows a little bit and try and pull your hands apart. Good. Starting and standing, little bend in the knees. Inhale to reach the strap up. Bring it back behind your head and exhale, reach the strap back and down. If you get stuck at the top, widen your hands. If it feels very easy and strange, narrow your hands. Good. We'll reverse that. Inhale up, exhale forward and down. Continue. Good. Our option here to add is standing for the inhale, chair pose for the exhale. Good. Keep floating in and out of those poses as you move the strap forward and then back. Going at your pace, making room to just explore this movement. Two more at your pace. Maybe a deeper chair pose if that's where you're working. And next time your strap is forward and down, stand up tall, release it to the side. And we'll move right away. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, down dog. Optional vinyasa, inhale, plank pose. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 3 breaths in and out. Good. Inhale for plank pose. Pause here. Press the earth away from you. Hands press into mat. Feet press into mat. Draw your hands isometrically towards your feet. That wakes up your core. One more breath. On an exhale, lower your knees and chest and chin to the earth. And take a couple of breaths on your belly. Take all the time you need and find Sphinx pose. Good. Left arm comes at a diagonal in front of you. Good. Just for a little bit of support. Right hand can kind of be anywhere at the moment, but roll your shoulders down and lift your chest. Good. Bring a little attention to your core. Navel draws up and in like you're pressing pubic bone down, but belly up. Kick right heel into your hip. Good. For me, instead of pointing the toes, my knee likes it better when I flex my foot. Just notice if that's you. We're going to reach around, right hand grabs right foot or ankle. Good. Again, attention to core. Press down through both hips, the front of both hips equally. Pubic bone, and lift your belly up off the earth. Press your left elbow down. Then start to kick right foot into right hand. Good. That might be enough effort to start to lift right knee off the earth. Good. Gazing forward and down. Chin is down, ears are back. And breathe. Just like we imagined before, imagine a block was between your inner thighs and you were holding it there, even with all this other effort. On an exhale, without slingshotting, release your foot, release your arms, and wiggle your hips side to side. Good. Opposite side, right arm comes at a diagonal in front of you for support. And feel that both hips, the front of the hip bones, are even right now on the earth. We want to keep them even as we kick our heel up. Good. Roll shoulders down, pubic bone presses, belly starts to reach off the earth, and kick left heel in. Decide if you're pointing or flexing that foot. You might experiment a couple of ways. Keep the belly really engaged, and left hand reaches for foot or ankle. Good. Imagine that block between the inner thighs. Squeeze it, hug in, shoulders are down. Good. Maybe kick your foot into your hand. If there's any pressure in your knee, don't effort as much with this kick. Squeezing inner thighs together. Maybe that thigh starts to lift off the earth. Left hip is down. Shoulders are down. Belly really engaged. Good. Release. And pause on your belly for a moment. You can find a pillow with stacked hands. Bend your knees and windshield wiper heels side to side. Big breaths in and full exhales. Beautiful. Pause your movement. Hands next to the ribs. Toes curled under. See if you can come to tabletop with hips and chest at the same time. Hug the elbows in, squeeze the inner thighs, and root to rise. Child's pose or down dog, your choice. Again, we just did a back bend, so wherever you are in those two poses, take a few breaths. If you're in down dog, optional vinyasa. We'll meet in a standing forward fold. When you're ready, inhale, half lift. Exhale, folds. Bent knees, strong core, flat back, root to rise. Exhale, hands to your hearts. And again, feel the stability of your feet. Okay, so we've prepared our body for a particular pose, and we just basically did it on the earth. And most of you know it as dancer, Natarajasana. We're going to do it a couple of ways. So the first one we're going to do with our strap or strap variation. And we want to find the same distance that we were just doing with our shoulder flossing. So something where we can reach that strap up and then all the way behind us toward the lower back. So let's not go there quite yet, just to make sure that we've established our foundation first. Good, so I'm going to turn, just so you can see what I'm doing behind me. Find that placement of your hands. Bend your elbows a little bit, pull your hands apart. And the first leg we're going to lift is the right leg. So bring more weight into your left foot and slightly bend that left knee. Good, before we get there, strap forward and up, and then back and down. Pause wherever the strap comes closest to your lower back while the arms are still straight and engaged, pulling the hands apart. Find a gaze, fix your gaze. Left leg is bent, core is strong. Then kick your right heel up towards your hip. Good. You might imagine you could loop your strap around your toes. I'm not going to do that today. It's kind of a lot of effort, and we don't need to. We're going to do dancer both ways. So as you bend from your hips forward, kick your heel up toward the ceiling, just like we did with our footprints. Good. Keep reaching your strap like you could hook it around your heel. Beautiful. Spread the toes. Strong core. 2 more breaths. On an exhale, come back to center. Release, shimmy out your shoulders, kick out your feet. So what we're doing here, and you can feel it, is that we're really efforting in our pose. Instead of kind of using momentum to just like kick my heel and kind of spring into the pose, I'm really making myself work. So we're going to do it the other satisfying way too, don't worry. I just want you to feel the difference. So opposite side, a little more weight into the right foot. Bend that knee, fix your gaze, pull your hands apart and reach your strap up, back, and down. Keep pulling your hands apart, micro bend in those elbows. Good, fixing gaze, core is strong, kick left heel in. Spread those toes, whether your foot is flexed or pointed, it's active. As you bend from the hips, core is still strong. Reaching that strap away from you, behind you as chest reaches forward. And heel kicks towards ceiling. For me, this pose variation is a lot better on my knee. I don't feel that pressure when I have my hand on my knee or on my foot. One more breath. Exhaling, feet down, arms release, and set your strap aside. Shimmy up the shoulders, might do the hokey pokey. Good, so now we'll find dancer the traditional way, which I do still think is very satisfying. But I wanted to show you that option in case your knees ever hurt in dancer when you grab your foot and kick into it. That could be an option. You could go hands-free, essentially. Okay, standing, fix your gaze. Find your breath. And bandha, that bit of stability in your core, navel is up and in. More weight into left foot, bend that knee. Good, kick your right heel into your buttock, and with your right hand, inner or outer foot or ankle, grab that foot, wherever you can reach. Make sure the hips are square. That right hip wants to hike up or kind of reach out. Hips are square facing in front of you. Foot is active. Kick your foot into your hand. Left arm is optionally reaching up and forward. Good. We're hinging at the hips. So chest reaches forward as heel reaches up and back. Still imagine that imaginary block between your thighs and squeeze it. Beautiful. Shoulders down. Chest reaches forward. 2 more breaths. On an exhale with control, back to center. Release your foot and do the hokey pokey. Whatever your variation of that is. Okay, last one. Find your breath, find your feet. Fix your gaze. More weighted to right foot, micro bend in that leg, and kick left heel in. Good. We're reaching with left hand to grab the ankle with as little hiking of the hip as we can do. More of a kick into the buttock first. Good. Right arm might reach up and over, floating around the ear. This might be your pose. You can stay right here. Core is strong as you hinge forward with your hips. Good. As you hinge forward, you're reaching your chest forward and kicking your foot back into your hand. Good. Block between inner thighs. In your mind, squeeze it. Core is still strong. Breath is even. 2 more breaths. Exhaling with control back to center. Slowly release your foot and shimmy it out. Shimmy back to the top of your mat. And inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Take your time to get there. Inhale, half lift, and exhale, down dog. Optional final vinyasa here. And then we'll meet in child's pose, dropping your knees, widening them, and sitting hips toward heels. Good, arms can take any shape. If the shoulders are very tired, it might feel good to wrap arms around the body toward your feet. Finding your deep belly breaths. Take one last deep inhale, pausing on full, and sigh it out. Hands under shoulders to press up. And feet to, or hips to one side of feet. And swing the feet forward. You could grab your blanket for under your sits bones. And extend your feet or your legs. And then bring your left leg out a little bit in space, maybe about 45 degrees, and the left foot in. You flex both feet and sit up tall. Inhale, gather space. And exhale, turn toward your left leg and fold. Good, we'll pause there, rooting the sits bones back and down as chest comes forward, creating length in the spine and length in our exhale. Take a deep breath in, full breath out. Walk your hands close to your hips to press up. Keep the shape of your legs and turn towards your right knee. Hands can just frame that knee to start. Good. Back of the left hand to your inner left thigh. Side stretch here. As you slide that left hand down toward your ankle, you're pressing that hand into your leg to help twist left rib cage forward. Get optional, right arm reaches up and over, maybe toward your toes. Good. Imagine I was there pressing on your right thigh and hip, rooting that part of you down. And 2 more deep breaths into right ribs. On an inhale, cartwheel the arms back to center. And we'll switch sides. Any little movements in between as you need. And first we'll find our fold. Inhale, gather space. Exhale to twist toward right leg, fold, and relax. As you relax the head and neck and shoulders, keep some strength in feet. Thighs gently pressing down. And the effort of grounding sits bones as the chest reaches forward. And take a deep breath in. Exhale, hands walk towards your core and turn towards your bent knee. Flex both feet. Right hand to inner right thigh. Start to slide it down for your side stretch. Gently pressing back of right hand into inner calf or ankle to encourage this twist in the ribs. Left rib cage back, right rib cage forward. Shoulders out of ears. And 2 more deep inhales into left ribs. Cartwheel hands back to center. And remove your blankets. You can set it toward the back of your mat. And bring your legs out in front of you, hips about the center of your mat. Inner thighs and inner feet touch, squeezing kind of like we're squeezing that imaginary block. Hands out in front of us. I like thumbs to cross just for a little more stability. Press down through both heels. Take a breath in. Squeeze inner thighs. Exhale, roll down. Slow motion. Heels will slide, but keep them rooted to the earth. See if you can roll down all of the lumbar lowest vertebrae, then the middle of your spine, then the upper spine, and then find the great stretch. Point your toes, reach your fingers, and exhale, both knees to chest. Gently rock side to side. Let your head organically move with you in space. Let's find a happy baby. Good. Your version today might be grabbing ankles or outer feet. Wherever you're grabbing, see if you can bring heels over knees. Let your tailbone be heavy, like there's a little space for your lower back on the mat. And pulling one foot to rock to that side, pull the other foot, rock to the other side. Releasing both feet, set them down on the earth and Pick up your hips, hop them to the left, and let your knees fall to the right. If you have a favorite twist, maybe the right leg extends, or any variation, feel free to take it. And if you'd like this to just be relaxed, release the effort in every muscle. And start to identify with as little effort in your awareness as it takes. Identify the pause at the bottom of your exhale. However brief, totally relaxed. That little gap. When you're ready, core is strong to bring knees to center. Realign your hips for a moment, and then find the other side, hopping hips to the right, knees to the left. Arms can take any shape that's comfortable. Allow your head to relax in space. With as little effort as it takes. Simply recognize a natural pause at the bottom of your breath. A gap of no breath. Of peace and quiet. And that gap is always there for you to tune into, that peace and quiet within you. When you're ready, come back to center. Reposition your hips comfortably at center and extend your legs for Shavasana. If you crave any last movements, feel free. And then allow yourself to rest. Stay here as long as you'd like. If you need to move, begin to deepen your breath first. Let small movements grow into larger movements. A great stretch. Exhaling knees to chest. Take a moment on your side for a breath or two. Slowly rolling into a seat. Letting palms touch. And bowing your chin. And I want to invite you today to appreciate. Sometimes gratitude feels quite grandiose, like we have to think of big things. But appreciation could be just for the clothes you wear, the air that you breathe, the health of your body right now in this moment. Just appreciating the little things today. I appreciate you and your practice, your effort. Thank you. Namaste.